Thank you all for joining us today. I'm joined by Rick Hasz, the President and CEO of Gift of Life Donor Program. Many of you may know Rick. He started as a transplant coordinator with Gift of Life way back in 1993, and he assumed the President and CEO role on January 4th of this year. I thought this would be a great opportunity for folks to get to know a little bit more about Rick. So Rick, thanks for joining us today.
Steve, thanks for having me. Look forward to talking.
Yeah, we appreciate you taking some time to talk to us and to let the members know a little bit about yourself. So sure. To jump in, how would you describe your leadership style?
I would describe it as collaborative. I grew up in the donation and transplant world during the collaborative. And I learned a lot, from that leadership style, the all teach, the all learn. And it's something that has really stuck with me because I think the best ideas come from the people who are working for us. And the more that we can learn from each other and teach each other and collaborate, the more we'll be able to produce the results that we're expecting, more people getting transplanted.
That's great. And you mentioned collaboration with your team. What motivates you to work hard, and how do you motivate your team? I mean, you keep setting goals, you keep setting records every year. So how do you guys keep doing that?
For me, the motivation really comes from those patients who are so desperate in need of our services, right? Those patients who are on the waiting list and that we're advocating for every day. I always want to instill in myself and in our team, how would you want the Gift of Life working for you if your loved one needed a transplant? What would you do today? How would you rest your head at night knowing that did you do everything that you could today to help them save a life? And it's that level of purpose and that level of urgency, I think, that we have to all think about as we're trying to improve this nation's donor and transplant system.
That's a great perspective and a great way to instill in your team. The focus on the patients, the focus on the donors, the focus on the transplant and the recipients who are waiting. So as you met with your team and you've charted out your goals over the next several years, what are those goals and how do they fit? The industry has undertaken this 50,000 transplant goal by 2026. And how do you guys see Gift of Life donors goals fitting into that?
Yeah, I think they align perfectly, Steve. I mean, we do an operational plan every year on how we're going to achieve more organ donors and more organs available for transplant. And those goals are simple. We want to provide more opportunities to talk to more families, to ascertain better authorization rates, and to be better stewards of the gift, to be able to yield more transplantable organs from every donor. And then there's different strategies, obviously, that we're going to all use to get there, from staff training to technology, so that we can utilize a number of these preservation technologies really to get there. I think we're all seeing that to grow donation, we're doing it in the much more medically complex donors. DCD is making up a larger proportion of the donors. Patients with hypertension and diabetes and comorbid factors that make recovering organs a challenge. And I think utilizing new technologies and preservation and machine perfusion for hearts, lungs, livers are really going to help propel us to that 50,000 goal.
Yeah, that's great, and you guys have been leading the way for quite a while, and we appreciate your support. We appreciate all that everybody's learning from you, because as you mentioned, it goes back to the collaboration, and you guys have been willing to collaborate with a lot of folks across the system to help it get better. As you look back, I mentioned you joined the industry, the community in 1993. What's the most important thing you've learned from your tenure within the community?
Well, sure, Steve. I actually will take the opportunity to correct you. I actually joined in 1990 as a transplant coordinator for Washington Regional Transplant Consortium. So Lori Brigham was my first boss as a coordinator. And then I met Howard at an AOPO meeting in 1992, and actually then moved back to Pennsylvania to join Gift of Life. And one of the things I've loved about this community is being able to steal shamelessly from each other. I know you remarked on how much we've led, but we've learned from a whole host of colleagues across the country, and I think that what makes this donation system so unique in the United States is that we're able to take the best of what somebody's doing, whether it's in Seattle, Boston, LA, Minnesota, Tennessee, and then try to apply it to your local situation. And the community has been so good about being able to do that, and AOPO has been a big part of that.
I appreciate it, and I apologize for shortening your tenure. And
no, that's okay. Those were very important, formative years in learning about donation and transplant when they took a chance on me as one of their first non-nurse coordinators. I think I was actually their second non-nurse coordinator, and I don't want to ever forget that time and some of those formative years working there.
And that's great. If you could choose to do anything for a day, what would it be?
Anything.
Anything.
I'd probably try to be a major league pitcher. Although I've just recently had 2 shoulder surgeries, rotator cuff, so I'm not sure I can get the ball to the plate. But if I could do anything, that's where I'd love to spend my day, participating at the ballpark. But if not, love baseball, love the sun, the grass, the strategy in the game. So I'd probably be playing baseball somewhere.
All right. Well, had the season been locked out, you may have gotten a chance as a replacement player.
Well, no, I ended up going to the Phillies fantasy camp a couple of years ago and did pretty well, but trying to get out of the batter's box, there was a couple pulled hamstrings in there. I think my baseball days are well far behind me.
Okay. Any closing thoughts for your colleagues?
Closing thoughts, continue to push the envelope, continue to really advocate for all of those patients who are waiting, and take care of the families who so graciously say yes to donation. This is one of the few areas of medicine that just transcends a lot of different avenues that, each day that before you put your head down on that pillow, that you did something that saved somebody's life. And that's just so powerful. But with that type of power comes a lot of responsibility. So keep working every day to get better, keep working every day to learn, and remember to reach out and collaborate with your colleagues.
Those are great words of wisdom. So again, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you taking time from your busy schedule.
Oh, my pleasure. Hi, everybody. Be well.
Thanks, Rick.
You bet.